now we mentioned college football, so now we got to mention Ohio State winning the national championship. Shout out to my roommate from Downingtown, Pennsylvania, um, Will Howard, Downingtown West guy from PA.
Oh,
Um,
word. That's fun.
Not much to say about it.
Yeah.
Ohio State is a unit. They were a unit all year. They beat a Notre Dame team that was good, but not as good. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
They made it interesting. You talked about it with me earlier. I'll let you take it away from here, but as expected.
I just always think it's really funny. I think Bears fans were talking about hiring Ryan Day. I think a lot of people are talking about Ryan Day getting fired for losing to Michigan. He could lose to Michigan the rest of his career, and the 12-team playoff format just allows him to do that. It just doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It's
yeah,
completely irrelevant. If he loses to Michigan every year and it plays him out of the Big Ten championship, then you play one less game and you get a matchup against a technically worse team in the first round of the CFP. Like, who cares? Um,
hmm
so yeah, that's kind of the path for them. Um, they just they got so many guys back with their funding was really impressive from that standpoint. So many fourth and fifth year starters on the defense, and in recent memory, when they have these superstar quarterbacks like Stroud and Fields, the defense was really questionable. And they managed to maintain these guys that they've had on the team since those teams, like Jack Sawyer as a fifth year player. Um, and they get complementary pieces in the portal with Davison Igbinosun, who had a brutal year this year. Actually, he was maybe the worst player on their defense. He led the country in penalties the entire game. He was just hugging Notre Dame receivers. Um, he's a New Jersey guy. That's why I mentioned him. Brother Desmond went to Rutgers. I think just graduated. Um,
Are
they
you
got
rah?
uh, they got Caleb Downs from Alabama. I think he was a unanimous award winner. I don't know if he got the Thorpe or not. No, Janae Barron got the Thorpe. I think he got some other DB award. I can't remember. And people were like, "Oh, he doesn't get interceptions." Since when does that equate to you being a good defensive back?
Yeah,
Like, it just doesn't.
it's,
Also, a good returner. Uh, yeah, they got super complimentary pieces in the portal. Mainly on offense, you get Will Howard. I just find it funny Will Howard's the guy that wins the national championship for Ohio State and not C.J. Stroud or Justin Fields.
yeah.
You get Judkins from Ole Miss, like that's just not even fair. Travion Henderson sticks around. Jeremiah Smith is like the best freshman receiver in God knows how long.
They
Um,
ran that one. I think you texted me when it happened. When they ran that one play, that he came in motion, he dropped in and pulled to the outside, almost like on a flat route. That is the play Alabama ran on them with Devonta
oh
Smith.
yes,
I saw
yes,
that was pretty sick. I
yes, I do
enjoyed
remember
that a
that. Chip
lot.
Chip Kelly was in his bag a little bit. He was in the
Yeah,
Duffy a little. Yeah, just a wagon of a team. They had a lot of movement on the offensive line throughout the year, and they persevered through that. It's just super deep. I forget. I can't remember who it was on Twitter said they. I think they mocked 16 players in the draft, or they had like determined there were 16 draftable players on Ohio State, which would be the most drafted players ever. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Dane Brugler on Twitter. He's a PFF guy. He has pretty good stuff. I can't exactly remember who it was though. So that's not great journalism on my behalf. But I mean the team is so loaded. Like eye test will
yeah.
tell you could probably draft anybody on that team and be good with it. Um, Judkins had 3 touchdowns. And then, I mean, I guess shout out to Notre Dame for hanging in there. They're down 31-7 fourth quarter. They get a touchdown, a 2 point conversion. It's 31-15. Jaden Greathouse was awesome. You could say he's pretty great in the second half. Um, 2 touchdowns, a lot of contested catches. He was really good for them. Um, and then they're down 31-15. They're in the red zone. It's fourth and goal. They elect to kick a 29-yard field goal that slams off the upright. And all of a sudden, you're still down 16. Just a really questionable call from Freeman. I don't know why you're aggressive. You already went for the 2 point conversion when you're down by 24 to play for the 2 point conversions later on to stay down 2 possessions. I don't know why you kick a field goal. You missed anyway. They get down there. They get another 2 point conversion on like a Philly special type play, end around pass to Bo Collins in the back of the end zone. And then they can't stop Jeremiah Smith one on one. Christian Gray got them to the national championship. and then he gets torched by Jeremiah Smith one-on-one,
Yeah.
the full third of the field, and ends their season. So pretty
Yeah.
fitting way to
That's when
go out.
that's when I turned the game off right there. I
Yeah,
was like, cool.
pretty fitting way to go out. Jeremiah Smith is a animal, freak of nature. Emeka Egbuka actually broke all of Ohio State's receiving records this year. If Jeremiah Smith is even like average compared to his production he got this year, he will be shattering those records in 2 seasons time. Um, so yeah, really no takeaways from this game, to be completely honest with you. I think Notre Dame's probably going to get in the college football playoff every year as long as they're not in a conference as well, because they're going to win.
Yeah.
They're
It's
going to
just
win
free.
11 games or 10. Even if they go 10-2, they're probably going to get in every year. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Not really not that interesting. Also, college football needs to figure out the timing with all these games. Like you just had 2 weeks off from the last college football game, and no one watched this. So
Yeah. It
weird
everyone's
stuff.
just NFL now.
Yeah, not great from college football.
It's
They need to. I don't know how you plan for this, and
I
they've been
mean, you
planning it for a while and just not executed well. I
gotta tweak it,
yeah,
honestly. Just
I think
little
it's. I
fixes.
think fundamentally it's okay. I think 8 would have been better. I think the good thing you get, like the allure to 12 teams, is that you get the guaranteed G5 school in every year. So you're like, oh, Cinderella. Like
Yeah.
there's your oh Cinderella every year. You get your G5 school in guaranteed with the 12 teams. Um, but also a byproduct of that is because you're just playing more games, you're gonna have more bad games, which also means since you're playing more games, you're gonna have more good games. So it just offsets each other. It's not like the
Yeah.
product as a whole is actually improved. You're literally just playing more games, so you're either gonna have more good games and more bad games. It's
Overall, I like the setup of the new playoff.
you can't go
I
more than 12 though. I think you go more than
No,
12, it's a
you cut it
disaster.
here. You cut it here.
Because there's just not teams deserving of being championship teams past that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like Boise and SMU were competitive. Don't get me wrong. You're not a national championship team. Like
Yeah. I mean, oh, sorry. I can't believe I just started on. That was crazy. But I mean, teams like Ole Miss who just missed. I'd like a team like South Carolina, not to just be all SEC,
no,
but
I was gonna say of all the SEC teams that didn't get in, I thought South Carolina was the most deserving. Like I didn't want to see
yeah,
Ole Miss or Alabama. Give me South
which
Carolina, dude.
South Carolina got robbed on college football game day. On with college football game day in Columbia, um, South Carolina was absolutely robbed in that LSU game,
Oh yeah,
and I will not
that was an
forgive.
unfortunate game. Sellers got injured.
Yeah, because if they win that game,
They're in.
they're in.
Yeah.
They're in, and I won't forget that. I'm not a big U of SC guy in general. Not a big Gamecock guy, but that I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes, and I don't really like to critique refs or questionable stuff like that. That's above my pay grade. But that was broad daylight robbery.
I mean, they'll be good again next year. Sellers was a freshman. They
Yeah,
lose Rocket Sanders, who had a good little revitalization to his career. It was nice to see. He was really good at Arkansas. Then he got injured and had some, I think, off the field stuff maybe. I don't exactly remember what happened, but yeah, he fell off the page a little bit. Had a good season. Dylan Stewart is back. They had an awesome defensive line. Um, Kevin Kennard, really good. I think his name is Kevin. I think it was a double K. He was an edge. I think he won an award. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe someone beat him out for it and he deserved it. I can't. This stuff is kind of evading me because it happened so long ago. Like, we're still talking about college football, and that stuff was so long ago.
yeah,
Like, any other bowl game was like over a month ago at this point.
yeah. It's
So
been a
I
minute.
barely even remember that.
I'm just past
Um,
me.
yeah, it's evading me. They'll be good next year, I think. And hopefully they do tweak this stuff a little bit. But yeah, man, I feel like we've been mumbling and bumbling our way to
Yeah,
through
we're
this
we're
a little
we're
bit.
we're crossing the finish line here. We're final stretch.